Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You're listening to The Authority Report, and I am your host, Chet Bruce. I'm glad to have you here today. It is a fact that most professionals and small business owners are doing a poor job of communicating with their prospects. It is my true belief that a consumer needs to know far more about the people and businesses they rely on for help. This show is all about being a consumer advocate. We interview professionals and small business owners who freely give consumers the information they need to make informed decisions.
Folks, our guest today is Harris Rose. Harris is president and CEO of Rose Media Enterprises, which until earlier this year was a search engine optimization company. Now, 1 year ago, his business was SEO, and today it's a full-bore authority marketing and positioning company. He has a very intriguing story, and the reason I have him on today is to hear that story about how and why he turned his business model, direction, and mission around, and literally on a dime overnight. So, welcome, Harris. How are you?
Doing well, Chet. Thanks for having me.
All right. Quite very, very good. Let's get right into this. As you know, Harris, my show is all about being a consumer advocate. Can you tell me how the services you provide to a professional or business owner aids the consumer?
Well, absolutely, Chet. I mean, from my own experience, I've been burned in the past by buying products and doing interactions with companies and professionals on almost false advertisement. You know, these guys advertise one thing, but when you get down to it, the product that you're receiving from them is no way, shape, or form what you thought you were getting. So that being said, what I do is I'm in a position here to vet these prospects, which may become clients upon my ability to see that these guys can actually do what they preach. So by doing that, that ensures that the client is actually receiving, I'm saying their clients, like my customer would have prospects as well. So what my clients are telling or advertising is the real thing, so that their customers will be receiving exactly what they're advertising. So that the customer is getting exactly what they're looking for. And if the people that I'm working for cannot fulfill that, then I don't do business with them. So it ends up being a win for everybody involved here.
All right, cool. I really relate to that. Okay, Harris, real quick, before we get into your story, just who would this be for? Who would use it? Who would authority marketing and positioning work for? Well,
really, from what I've seen is this will work for any company that implements these strategies and techniques. But what I devised this for was initially for people that got burned by Google, ideally. And, so I mean, these people, they're putting all the money and assets and time into SEO, expenditures, keeping their website up and such as that. And so every time these Google updates come down, these guys got to spend money and time and everything getting those back up. So that's the initial, people I was trying to help. But really, anybody who knows anything about authority marketing and has interest in it, I mean, even better. You know, that's what is being done here. So either group of people.
All right, cool. Now let's get into your story, shall we?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, how did you come to the point of changing your business from SEO to authority marketing? What brought that about?
Well, that's a great question, Chet. And I got to say, it started out very slowly, but about 6 years ago, when I first started doing SEO, I kept hearing about these Google updates and the horror stories and that that followed these, these things. It just kept it being in the circle of communities that I was in. But I was probably in this business for about 2 years before it hit me. So in the meantime, I was just hearing these stories, and they weren't affecting me in anything. And then I just realized that I figured I was either a genius or these other people were cutting corners to get their work done. So then, like I said, about 2 years into this thing, I got blindsided, just like the stories I had been hearing about. And finally, I'm the one waking up in the morning. I see that my website that had been on page one, and I hate saying that. It sounds so corny right now, but really, on page one, and now I'm on page 5, and then I go start looking for, my videos, and my videos are gone. And then I started really cringing, thinking about, oh my gosh, let me, did this happen to my customers, my clients, So sure enough, I start looking through that stuff too, and yes, they've been affected too. So it was really, really an eye-opening experience, and something that, that day I vowed that I was going to be finding something that, some kind of way that could help my clients build assets that would be long-lasting, highly visible assets that these updates would not be affecting. So, in a sense, I was looking to build these assets on rock, not on sand that was subject to the wills of Google. So, right now, my motivation is really if I can help people save $1 or a second of time that they would otherwise spend with Google, then all of this stuff has been worth it. And that's what I'm looking to do, is just help people to build assets that are going to last versus being exposed to these whims of Google.
Okay, well, let's go into that a little deeper. How did you figure authority marketing was going to be the answer for what you wanted to do in business? How did you think you were going to do it?
Well, initially, I really had no clue. Like I said, I was just going about my business here, and I kept seeing these effects of Google, and I just knew there had to be a better way. So, it was an ongoing, evolving lesson. It really took me a couple years to learn this, and over $100,000 to figure this out. So, what I did, Chad, was I really noticed that I really started to see that a lot of this publicity that we've seen in newspapers and on TV and stuff today is manufactured. I mean, it's fabricated. So, I mean, think of this. I mean, look at all these celebrities that do the Oscars or the Emmys, and all of these functions they're just staged social functions. I mean, we don't have anything like that in TV shows to pick who's the best plumber or the best carpenter or the best doctor, lawyer, what have you. But we could, and it's along those lines that really made me start thinking about this. And another thing, look at these movies coming out every summer, every year, all year long. Every movie is the best movie of the year, and you go to see half of them and you want your money back. So I just realized, there's a lot of hype and a lot of, it's just people telling their story. So with that being said, I started playing around with pieces and trying to figure out what these guys were doing. And I started to see that as I was playing around with these article writing and press releases, I eventually fell on to what everybody's calling now authority marketing. And what I liked about this, Chet, was that, and this is the reason really why I changed my entire business model, was that, one, you could build a presence on rock-solid foundation, something that, once again, was one of my preeminent reasons for changing my business model, was that Google updates will not affect what you put there. Also, you could build visibility very quickly, and this visibility gets you respect. And then third, the icing on the cake here is really I saw that you're flipping the relationship that you're having with Google. One from the SEO aspect of, having to watch your P's and Q's and, having to do everything correctly, or you're going to be punished by Google, to one of really a very nice, calm relationship of telling Google what to do. And of course, we're talking about telling the truth here and just telling them about what you got going on. It's not, we're not fabricating this in a sense we're lying to gain attention here. We are talking about telling the truth. So we're using Google for what really what he or she is, and that is a very powerful connected tool, and it's free. So that's it.
All right. Yeah, let me be sure I've got this straight in my head. Okay. When you say you're manufacturing, really what you're doing is simply what used to be called public relations. You're getting the truth out there in a fashion that people are interested in enough to read it and see it and go to it and understand it. I like that. That's really cool. All right. Yep. Okay. Now, I know a little bit about public relations because I've been around for so long. But is authority marketing really hard to do?
Actually, Chad, it's not. It's really very simple. Basically, what it is you're putting content out there, and and that's what it is. You're talking about putting articles and either videos, articles, magazine articles. You're just putting information out to really to the world. And there's a way that you need to do this in the sense that you need to give it away. You need to just give your solutions to the world so that the people finding this information are going to see this and go, wow, this is awesome stuff. And I love Chet. He's got some great information out there. So you need to be seen as a giver. And I'd like to say be an educator and an advocate for the success of your prospects, whatever they're doing. So, and another big secret here, Chet, is that you need to have somebody else talking about you. So this does a couple things here. First of all, the person talking about you we're talking about is the media. We're talking about somebody who's credible and respected and has some high visibility. So we have venues that we give our stories out to the media and they go tell the world. And so the other aspect of what this does is that now you have a respected authority talking well about you. You're not beating your own chest. Somebody else is. So, and so of course, the stories that you want to build is powerful in the sense that you get to form that. You get to create the stories in the persona and the vision of how you want you or your company to be seen. So that's very powerful in itself.
All right. So, I heard something a long time ago, and you just reinforced it to me. And it goes like this. If I tell you how great I am, you probably won't believe it. But if your friend tells you how great I am, you are going to believe it.
That's awesome. That about sums it up.
Yeah, that sounds just about like what you just said. So
that's
cool.
Exactly right, Chad. Absolutely.
I like that. Okay.
Me too. I like your statement.
Now, there are preconceived notions and misconceptions in every field. So tell me, what is the number one misconception or preconceived notion that would need to change in the mind of the person that you're talking to, the person that should be using your service, that may make them reluctant to take action?
Really, Chad, I got to say, it's ironic, that I think that the biggest reason people don't use authority marketing is, for one, they don't think they're an authority. They don't think what they do makes them an expert. And that's really not the way to look at these things, but that is indeed a sad fact. For example, if we have, let's say there's a contractor who builds pools. He does this stuff every day, so obviously, compared to someone who doesn't build pools, this guy is an expert. But the contractor just happens to think, it's just building pools. I do this every day. Well, that's not the way to be looking at this. I mean, he's degrading what he does. He dismisses, the knowledge that he has. And that is indeed very unfortunate, because really the very same people that he looks at authorities in his own life, he might look on TV and go, wow, those guys are good, Well, the people he's looking like that, they started out small too. They started out somewhere, and they did the same thing that we're talking about here in authority marketing. We're putting out stories that we want to, once again, they're correct and true and all of that stuff. And you're just telling the media, and other venues, what's going on. So when people end up, doing research on you, you are everywhere. It's, matter of fact, the very same people they see on TV. Authority marketing will get you wherever you want to go. You get as big as you want to be, as long as you keep doing this. I mean, like I said, those people that this pool contractor may be looking up to are the very same people that a few years ago were very small people, not seen by anybody, but they just took it upon themselves to put their story out to the world, and somebody picked up on that story and just made them bigger than life. So it's really people's own mindset that kind of keeps them down.
So once again, Harris, what are the just recap here, if you would. What's the overall benefits of authority marketing to the person who's using it and to the consumer?
For the person who is actually doing the authority marketing, it's going to be able to get his message out to the masses, and he is going to be getting people who like his message. They get educated on his message, and they end up calling him, not to say, like an SEO person may call in and say, hey, how much you charge, do you have any references, what's the warranty, all this stuff. These people have done research and have been educated on you from the articles that, once again, you would be putting out. They're calling you because they want to do business with you, and they're saying, Chet, I need you to come do some work for me. When can you do that? Versus, tire kickers is what I call them. But, and on the consumer angle, what's their benefit of getting this is that they are indeed, receiving what they have, been told through these articles and stuff. So they know what they're getting. They know who they're getting, and they're getting a quality product that they've been educated on. So they're not just blindly going out here and buying something off the shelf and they don't know what they have. They have been heavily informed, and matter of fact, they're eagerly tracking you down quite often to do business with you. So that too is a win-win.
Cool. Okay. Well, Harris, I got to warn you, we're running up against the clock here. All right. So in closing, what's the one thing that you want everybody listening today to take away from what we've talked about?
Well, Chet, first of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to talk to you and to your listeners here. And really, if they had anything to take away from this, it's really, look, everybody knows here, I'm an ex-SEO guy, and I believe heavily in this stuff. And I do believe that there's value in that. What I'd like to say is that take some of this SEO stuff, take some of this authority marketing stuff, and check it out. If you see some value in this stuff, take your budget that you have for SEO and use part of that on this authority marketing. As you get return on investment on that, maybe walk it back to a higher percentage, and maybe eventually 50-50, where you got 50% of your SEO budget on SEO and then 50% on authority marketing, and use that for nothing else other than an insurance policy. Because, as we all know, Google is always on the move here with updates and something just to shake up your day. So I'm just saying, the next time a big update comes, the only thing that's going to be affected by this whole deal is going to be what you have invested in your SEO. And your authority marketing is going to keep on trucking. You're not even going to see any effects of that. And that'll be the final proof that you need to see how good this is. Because that's what I built this whole program on, is finding something that's bulletproof from these updates so that people don't have to pay multiples of something they should have already bought and just been able to keep. So that's really what I like as a takeaway. And just to let you know here, Chet, that I know it's been a short time here that we have. So what I have done is I've created a training here that your listeners could go to. For first time listener, there's more information you'd like to get. And really, if you know anything about authority marketing and you're intrigued by this, then please come along here as well. But I've created a training here for anybody who's interested, any of your listeners who are interested, and they can simply go to my website, and that website address is www.rosemediaenterprises.com/free training, and just simply listen to the training. And if you like to set up a talk or anything, it's real simple. You can see how to do that there as well. Or my phone number here, if you'd like to talk to me specifically about any of this, I'd be glad to talk to you. My phone number here, Chet, is 225-238-3899. So, Chet, I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to you and your listeners on this. This has been phenomenal. So, thanks so much.
All right, Harris. Well, I want to thank you for being here today.
I want to thank all of our listeners for coming by today and spending this time with us. And as a parting gesture, I would like to share with you something that I used to ask all of my students who were taking golf lessons. I would ask them, what is the most important shot in golf? And they answered, the putt, the drive, the irons, the woods. And of course that was all wrong. The most important shot in golf is the next one. The one that's after the next one. You have no idea what it is. So concentrate in your golf game, concentrate on the next shot. In your life, concentrate on this one moment in time. Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.